We're going to track a little bit of a spike in temperatures as we head through the next couple of days. We likely get above freezing, and we might even have some rain around. I'll track that and a few flakes coming up.
Any way to go was pretty much iced or snowed over.
Roads are not yet clear of snow in Pulaski County. We talked to some residents who say they're understanding.
Shoveling is inevitable with this much snow on the ground. It can be a dangerous activity.
Wrist ankles are always big.
We're talking to a doctor about how to avoid a trip to the emergency room.
This is WKYT News.
A lot of sunshine on a chilly day. Thanks for staying up with WKYT. I'm Kristen Kennedy. This was a good one for people trying to dig out of driveways and neighborhoods. Today's sunshine gave us warmer temperatures and helped break up a little of the slush. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell is in now with an early look at the work week forecast.
You know, I can already see in one part of my yard that had some of the snow blown away from it, where it was only about 6 inches deep. I can already see, as of today, the grass all over again. That's how quickly that sun was able to melt off the few inches that remained there. So we're going to continue to see that as we go through the next few days here. Out there tonight, it's a nice quiet one for you. We're coming in at 26 degrees with a feels like temperature right around 19. Now notice we're catching a southerly wind coming in here around 6 miles per hour. What that's going to do is that's going to continue to pump in some milder air, especially as we go through the next few days here. And that's what we need. 26 Lexington is mentioned, and then you're going to find some cooler spots, London being one of them, 19, 21, Mount Sterling. We check our forecast as we go through the overnight hours tonight and into the early morning. There you see those mid-20s here. Clear skies, not quite as cold, generally clear. We've got some high thin clouds out there, and you'll notice that when you check out the moon at any point during the overnight. Partly cloudy, pretty nice through the day tomorrow. We're close to 40, but we'll have a chance of rain arriving as well. So that means the clouds will continue to increase as we press through the evening and into the overnight. I will track that rain hour by hour coming up in just a few minutes.
A lot of people in Pulaski County are still trying to dig out from all the snow. Emergency management leaders there warn drivers to be very careful. They fear the low temperatures tonight will cause the slush on the roads to refreeze. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner reports on the icy conditions in our top story at 11.
A lot of people are just saying they're getting out because they're tired of being stuck inside for a few days.
Cabin fever has begun. Roads aren't clear in Pulaski County, not even the main ones, but still many are out on the roadways.
Any way to go was pretty much iced or snowed over.
Ryan Gibson is among those who didn't have a choice. He had to go to work today.
With it being front-wheel drive, it helped out a lot. But as in going up hills and stuff, you just can't get no traction at all.
After receiving multiple viewer-submitted photos of road conditions in Pulaski County, we decided to come check them out ourselves. But it's not just the snow-covered roads that concerns emergency management, it's the cold temperatures.
We've had a lot of problems tonight after it thawed out and got slushy, and it's frozen back over, and it's a lot slicker now than it was earlier in the week. We've had several record calls here in the last little bit.
You can tell the plows have been through, but they just couldn't keep up with the large amounts of snowfall and the temperatures. Snow is compacted and it's created slick spots, but one commuter applauds their efforts.
There's only so much they can do. There's only so many people that can get out. They just, I guess, try and do the best they can.
Another gives residents some friendly advice.
The way I feel if they stay off the roads more, if they don't have to be on them, the state workers could clear them a lot faster to where, you know, they'd be safer to drive on.
In Pulaski County, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
Also in Pulaski County, a restaurant is dealing with some snow damage tonight. Part of the roof of the Sonic in Somerset collapsed under the weight of all the snow. An employee at the restaurant told us no one was hurt, no cars were damaged. They don't know how long it'll take for crews to repair. We are starting to get a look at some of the winter storm damage at marinas in southern Kentucky. In Russell County at Jamestown Marina, the weight of the snow caused the roof to collapse. Many docks are underwater. The owner says there is so much snow that he can't get a good look at the damage. The emergency response team for Jamestown Marina will be out this week. And at nearby State Dock, owners say the covered slips above the boats are under pressure but haven't caved in. In Johnson County at the Paintsville Lake Marina, the snow caused a roof to collapse. The owner says the collapse damaged several boats. Some are starting to sink. Other boats are holding up parts of the marina like the dock.
Oh, there's probably 20 boats that's actually holding the dock up right now on that one dock, and then there's probably 20 on each one of these is helping hold it up.
The owner plans on getting an estimate on the damage from his insurance company. He estimates between $200,000 and $400,000 of damage. The piles of snow can lead to some busy emergency rooms. Doctors in central Kentucky see all sorts of patients after a big snow. They say a lot of injuries come from trying to shovel it away. WKYT's Hillary Thornton talks to a doctor about preventing the pain.
Wrist ankles are always big.
Piled up snow means an increase of certain injuries seen in emergency rooms.
Naturally, this is an environment that we're not incredibly used to.
Something Ryan Stanton knows not just by his own experience out here dealing with the aftermath of Friday's winter storm, but also by his work as an emergency room doctor.
Injuries being the main one: falls, snow, sledding related injuries, shoveling related injuries. And we've seen a lot of fractures over the last couple of days.
Dr. Stanton says following a big snow, it is not just those types of injuries that they see frequently.
Huge spike in heart attacks that we see with snowstorms because of the simple practice of trying to move snow. Shoveling snow puts together several of the most dangerous things for people with heart risk. One is exertion, and then you throw on top of it, you bend over to shovel. That decreases the blood return back to your heart because you're bending over, contracting down on those lungs. And then when everybody shovels, they strain.
Doctors say there are some things you can do to help protect yourselves when out working in the weather to clear away all of this snow.
Let's go shallow. The amount of snow that you have on the shovel makes a huge difference in terms of the weight and the amount of strain. So a little bit of snow at the time, work your way down. That'll help as well. Also, you want to try to stay as upright as possible. The more vertical you are, the better your physiology of your heart is. And then also take frequent breaks.
In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Dr. Stanton says the best thing you can do if you do have a history of heart problems is to find someone else to clear away the snow. While many people are still digging out, one family in southern Kentucky is looking for the man who helped them clear their road. The Roaches live in Laurel County at the top of a steep hill. They say a man in a tractor showed up, cleared their driveway, and left before they could thank him.
My daughter made him a thank you card and said we need to make him cookies and find out where he lives and take him some cookies.
Had the Roaches' snow angel not plowed their driveway today, they're not sure they could have left for work tomorrow. Nationwide, a daunting cleanup effort is underway across the East Coast following this weekend's historic blizzard. 2 feet of snow fell in Washington, D.C. Craig Boswell reports the nation's capital remains shut down.
The sun melted some of the 2 feet of snow that fell in Washington, D.C., but as the moon rises, temperatures are plummeting, creating dangerous conditions. A convoy of trucks from Boston and other cities arrived Sunday to help get the nation's capital moving again.
We're bringing about 450 pieces of equipment from outside of D.C.
Cleanup crews are making main streets a priority in the district. Officials asked residents to help with snow removal.
Senior citizens can't get out here and walk in the snow like this.
The federal government will remain closed Monday, and airports in the area are only cleared for limited flight operations. The storm canceled more than 11,000 flights. Further up the coast, a full moon tide made a soggy mess in Wildwood, New Jersey.
We had beautiful snow for all of a few hours before it just became a river of icebergs.
In New York City, officials say the epic nor'easter missed setting a new record for total snowfall by 1/10 of an inch.
We need people off the streets for their own safety. We need people off the streets for the safety of others.
Mayor de Blasio asked drivers to keep their cars parked. He canceled alternate side street parking for the entire work week. That's how long it could take for things to get back to normal in many places. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Washington.
Transportation leaders say airports in New York City, Philadelphia, and Baltimore resumed very limited service today. Most major airlines plan to resume service at all airports tomorrow. The Washington airports remain closed. Even though the winter storm has moved out, the snowy and slick roads are causing school leaders to delay and cancel classes Monday. For a full list of closings, go to WKYT.com. The search continues tonight for two men wanted for a shooting in Scott County. Deputies say witnesses saw the two men attack and shoot 24-year-old Jeremiah Washington last night on Tips Lane. He died at Georgetown Hospital from 2 gunshot wounds to the chest. Witnesses told deputies the shooters took off in a red car they think was a Chrysler or a Dodge. Investigators are now hoping to figure out why Washington, a Memphis native, was in Georgetown.
The victim has been arrested in Lexington in the past, which would lead us to believe that he has connections or ties there. Hopefully being able to release our victim's name, someone out there will, okay, I know that guy and I know he's been running with whoever.
The Department of Corrections website shows Washington was convicted in Fayette County last year for possession of cocaine. Still to come on WKYT News at 11. Old Friends Farm in Scott County needs help after a fire destroyed one of their barns. Also ahead, a strong earthquake hit the coast of Alaska. We'll take a look at some of the damage.
Bringing the news to you when TV isn't an option. WKYT News, now streaming live on your mobile device. Always here, so you can be anywhere.
Whether you're buying or servicing your car, for great customer service, come to Frankfort Toyota. Google rated 4.9 out of 5 stars. New 2016 Camrys, $179 a month or 0% for 60 months. And $500 bonus cash. 2016 Corollas, $159 a month, and RAV4s, $219 a month or 0% financing.
Price, selection, and service, it's all here.
Frankfort Toyota and online at frankforttoyota.com.
When you're in pain, nothing matters more than finding relief. Our strategy at the Pain Treatment Center of the Bluegrass is to provide an aggressive, cost-effective, multidisciplinary approach to reduce pain, restore function, and improve your quality of life. As the largest freestanding pain treatment facility in the Bluegrass, we provide extended care through our affiliated Joint Commission accredited surgery center, in-house imaging suite and lab, and our behavioral medicine specialists who address the emotional and psychological aspects of pain. Call for an appointment.
98.1 The Bull and Hardee's presents the Red, White, and Boom Music Festival 2016.
Starring Jason Aldean,
Eric Church,
Florida Georgia Line,
Thomas Rhett,
Cole Swindell,
Casey Musgraves,
and many more.
Powered by the Lexington Clinic. Labor Day weekend, September 2nd through the 4th at the Whitaker Bank Ballpark, Lexington.
Tickets on sale now at
redwhiteandboom.com.
Every morning, millions of Americans start their commute in their cars. Knowing AAA auto insurance is there, should anything not go as planned. And every morning, those same people also leave behind their homes. Knowing AAA home insurance is there, should anything not go as planned. Insurance that's not just insurance.
WKYT investigates because we stand for Kentucky.
Miranda Combs, WKYT.
It means digging deeper to make sure the Kentucky way of life is protected.
You think you're deceiving your people that voted for you by not getting your training?
I'm WKYT's Miranda Combs and I stand for Kentucky.
WKYT First Alert Weather is brought to you by Cartown Kia. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Not quite as cold out there tonight across most of the area. By this point last night we were already in the teens, and then many of you woke up in the single digits and even some negative territory across parts of central and eastern Kentucky. With all that snow on the ground, it was easy to get there because that just refrigerates the air around us. Not working quite as much tonight. We're getting more of a southerly wind in here trying to shake things up at least a little bit. We had some areas of freezing fog out there as well early this morning too. Tonight, winds are a little bit stronger, so it's going to keep the air nice and mixed up. When you get that air flowing, it'll keep everything kind of dried up a little bit. Even though the humidity will be high, it'll keep that fog from developing. 26 right now in Lexington, 21 over in Mount Sterling. Look at Jackson, 30. Ashland down to 0. So you can see the point. When you get into some of these spots, they are going to be a little bit colder than others. Hour by hour forecast as we move forward here. We go through the overnight and into the early morning hours, and you're going to see mainly a few more clouds in the sky. 27 degrees there by early tomorrow morning. A little bit breezy as well. As you see, that's going to help keep the air mixed. We get into the afternoon hours. We're around 39 degrees, and the clouds are starting to show up off in the distance here. You can see the high, thin stuff trying to work its way into the sky. Defender Radar Network is quiet. Looks like just a plain old clean base map tonight. Nothing showing up anywhere across the entire area. Now, when I throw the clouds on, naturally you're going to find a little bit more, and those will continue to stream through the skies of Kentucky overnight. Generally, it's kind of the high, thin stuff, and then we'll see maybe some thicker stuff as well try to roll into the area overnight. Model just dead on with exactly what we're seeing, almost to the exact shaping of the clouds. We go hour by hour into the early morning hours. We're at 9 o'clock here, morning commute time, and we notice everything's quiet until late tomorrow night. Going into Tuesday morning, frontal boundary pushes in. It ignites a few showers in the area. Nothing major expected out of that rain. A little wave of energy will ride along that front, and what ends up happening is we probably track a little bit of the frozen precipitation across parts of southeastern Kentucky. It's a very small sliver, but it likely shows up there early on Wednesday morning before it completely wraps up and moves right on out of town. But that's something wintry to track. And there might be a few flakes that are a little more off toward the north as well as we go into your Wednesday. 31 degrees, your high there. After coming off of 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, they're going to flirt with 40. And some of us will probably get there. And then we get into the end of the week and into next weekend where the potential to be a little bit warmer is trying its best to come together. And this is what you need. After a significant winter storm, you need a couple of days like that.
We need a break.
We need about a month of it, yeah.
Thank you, Jim. After the break, a strange series of events during an arrest in southern Kentucky. Investigators got a man for one crime, then charged him with a second.
From days before.
We are tracking a major winter storm that is going to try to shut down the Bluegrass State.
To when the snow starts falling.
The snow has been piling up quickly.
And all of our resources, of course, at work today covering the situation.
Heavy amounts of snow on the tune of a quick inch or two every hour.
This is some of the hardest snow we've seen so far today.
When Kentucky weather is at its worst, WKYT works hard to keep you safe. WKYT stands for Kentucky.
If your vehicle has been in an accident, you have the right to choose your collision center. Tell your insurance company you want to take it to Fortune. Fortune Collision Center, 1-800-506-9322. Fortune Collision Center works with all insurance companies. We'll contact your insurance company and get an estimate. With 5 Central Kentucky locations, call 1-800-506-9322 or click on fortunecollision.com. Remember, when your insurance company asks where you want to take your vehicle, tell them you want to take it to Fortune.
No two babies are alike. And no two birthing experiences are alike. At the Women's Hospital at St. Joseph East, we believe you should have your baby your way, with a birthing plan designed around you and a level 3 neonatal ICU. A personalized childbirth experience isn't just good for mom, it's good for baby. Kentucky One Health, the one name in healthcare.
Standing for Kentucky means being proud of where you come from and being proud of where we're headed. Kentucky's history, present, and future have a common theme: hard work. It took hard work to get here, and we Kentuckians know it will take hard work to get us through tomorrow. At WKYT, we're proud to tell the stories of everyday Kentuckians who aren't afraid to get their hands a little dirty to make this a better place to live. WKYT stands for Kentucky.
Every morning is an eye-opening morning on CBS This Morning. Start with responsible, intelligent information and conversation.
Take me back to that moment that we just saw in this confrontation.
Searchers race to save people trapped for days in Colorado. In an interview you'll see only on CBS This Morning.
Start with world-class original reporting. Start thinking. CBS This Morning.
Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $48 million, and Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $75 million. Cleanup is underway after an earthquake hit south central Alaska. The earthquake hit about 160 miles southwest of Anchorage this morning. It caused gas leaks, house fires, and power outages. The U.S. Geological Survey said the quake had a magnitude of 7.1. Police in Anchorage and Kenai reported no injuries. They did evacuate 24 homes in Kenai for the gas leak that sparked 3 house fires. At least one of the homes exploded. 20 people are now in a temporary shelter. Investigators in Pulaski County are trying to figure out what caused a fire that destroyed a home and killed 2 people. The public safety director says this afternoon crews recovered 2 bodies from a home on Coffee Road in Nancy. The fire started yesterday afternoon. Firefighters had a tough time getting to the scene because of all the snow-covered roads.
The snow was very deep at the time and so forth. The house was back a small 1-lane road, which was snow-covered and so forth, and then it was back another gravel lane, another half-mile and so forth, which made it very hard to get to. It was very hilly country.
The coroner is not yet releasing the names of the man and woman found dead inside the home. A snowplow driver is very grateful tonight that he is safe and sound. Last night on Kentucky 581 near the Johnson-Lawrence County line, his truck caught fire. The state transportation cabinet says the driver noticed smoke coming from one of the wheels, and when he tried to put the flames out, the back end caught fire. That driver is okay. Somerset police are still looking for a man involved in a shooting this weekend. The shooting happened early Saturday morning at Sunset Mobile Home Park. Officers say Randy Kaufman shot 38-year-old Robert Collier in the chest. Emergency crews rushed him to Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital. We do not know how he's doing tonight. Police released this photo of Kaufman. When caught, he will face an assault charge. A Whitley County man is facing several charges tonight. Deputies say he broke into a store and after they arrested him, tried to smuggle drugs into jail. Deputies say 45-year-old Samuel Hatfield broke into the Dollar General in Woodbine early Saturday morning. They found him at a home nearby along with $2,600 of stolen items. Deputies say Hatfield caused about $13,000 of damage breaking into the store. When they took him to jail, the deputy jailer found 2 plastic bags on him containing what's believed to be meth. A Scott County thoroughbred retirement farm is asking for help after a fire destroyed one of their barns. The barn at Old Friends Farm went up in flames Friday night. Thankfully, no one nor horses were hurt. Old Friends Farm is now raising money to build a new barn. They've started a GoFundMe page. And we do have a link to that on our website, WKYT.com. Lee K's in next with sports, and Coach Cal is happy with his Wildcats after a win Saturday.
You know, several of his players stepped up and made winning plays against Vandy, and we now know the 2 teams that'll be playing for Super Bowl 50. Highlights from the championship weekend are next in sports.
Tooth decay is the #1 cause for school absences, resulting in 51 million classroom hours missed each year. Commonwealth Smiles proudly received the Mom Approved Award from our patients, recognizing our care for children. Schedule your appointment today with Commonwealth Smiles.
My husband and I do our best to make the world we live in a better place. We recycle,
drive a hybrid car,
and we love to shop at our local farmers market.
So when it came to where we actually live, we knew we had to get a home loan from someone we could trust.
Someone who supports our community and cares about us, not their bottom line.
University of Kentucky Federal Credit Union. It's banking, only better.
Can't wait to try these wings.
I know. And apparently this spicy honey barbecue sauce is so good, it'll change your life.
Yeah?
Mom and Dad, can I borrow the car?
Our son's in a boy band?
We have a son?
Life-changing? Maybe. Indescribably good? Definitely. The boneless wings meal with spicy honey barbecue sauce, served with crinkle fries and a small drink. Zaxby's. Indescribably good.
While it's difficult to think about the death of a loved one, the caring people at the Lexington Cemetery make it easier.
After all these years, they still offer many spaces for traditional ground burial as well as mausoleum burial. And the Lexington Cemetery has operated its own on-site crematory since 1977. Lexington Cemetery offers many memorialization options, like the scattering garden and niches, and the memorial arbor for remembering those whose remains are elsewhere. Choose the beauty and dignity of the Lexington Cemetery and Crematory.
At WKYT, we stand for Kentucky. We stand for the people of this great Commonwealth. We stand for hard work and for those who aren't afraid to get their hands dirty. We stand for the little guy, and we root for the underdog, if we ever had to. We stand with Kentucky through hardships and through triumphs, through uncertainty and through tragedy. We stand for the big city and the rolling hills alike. And we stand for the one unifying factor that brings us all together. Pride. Pride in our home state, in where we've been, and in where we're going. At WKYT, we always have been, and we always will be, standing right here with you. WKYT stands for Kentucky. Get WKYT news and weather updates on 98.1 The Bull.
On the practice court and during games, John Calipari and his staff are keeping track of winning plays. Positive plays made at the right time on offense and defense. Against Vandy Saturday, Kentucky strung together quite a few winning plays, and the result was a 19-point win. Tyler Eulis had a game-high 21 points. Jamal Murray had 18 for his 17th consecutive double-figure game, adding the biggest dunk of the night.
I haven't done like that in a while. I mean, I kind of college legs for a couple of weeks, so to go out there and do that was a good feeling.
And I thought Jamal played to win today. Every play was a winning play. Had to get on him early because he didn't want to drive by people. He wanted to set up dribble. You know, Alex was doing his thing, and you know, all of a sudden, you know, Derek Willis. I told him, Derek, you can miss shots when you rebound and block shots and defend. You don't have to make every shot. But it was a good effort for us.
The real MVP may have been the 23,000 fans that braved the weather to attend Saturday's game. Most schools wouldn't get that number of fans on a sunny day if they handed out the tickets. Calipari, who guessed there would be 18,000, still thinks the BBN is crazy.
And these knuckleheads figured out how to get here. I have no idea whether they came 2 days ago because they heard the storm, whether they were stuck on the highway and walked here. I don't know.
I thought we were going to cancel the game, to be honest. Well, how many interest numbers we have? Like 15 or something like that. But, you know, I want to thank the fans for risking their lives to come out and watch us play.
Another home game for the Wildcats next Wednesday night, hosting Missouri. It'll be a late one, 9 p.m. tip. You can see it on ESPN. Matthew Mitchell was not happy with his team's effort and enthusiasm Thursday night at Ole Miss. He expects both to be better Monday when the Wildcats host Tennessee. Senior guard Janae Thompson, who rolled an ankle late in Thursday's game, is questionable for the game on Monday night. But Mitchell remained optimistic about his team when speaking to the media today.
We're ready to go. We're going to go out and have a great practice today and figure out how we're going to score enough points to win the game tomorrow night. That's what we're going to do. And Janae's not out. I mean, Janae's a real tough cookie, and I would be counting on her being in. If I had to bet right now, I would say she's going to play. If just knowing her, she's really tough.
Weather pushing back Morehead State's game to Sunday. Eagles playing host to Jacksonville State. First half, the visitors were on fire. Greg Tucker buries the three ball. He had a game-high 24. Gamecocks take a 20-point lead, but the Eagles make a run. Malik Maitland comes off the bench, hits the three-pointer. Maitland with 11 points. Xavier Moon goes right, hits the mid-range pull-up. The X-Man finishing with a team-high 22. Eagles in transition. Brent Arrington gives it up to Anthony Alici, who scores the bucket and draws the contact. Eagles cut the deficit to 1 in the second half, but they can't get over the hump. Gamecocks hang on for the 78-74 win. Super Bowl 50 is shaping up to be a good one. One team led by an iconic quarterback at the tail end of a career. The other QB representing the next generation of talented signal callers. NFL Championship weekend did not disappoint. In the AFC Championship, 17th all-time meeting between Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Second quarter, following a Brady interception, Manning finds Owen Daniels' 12-yard touchdown, his second of the day. Broncos up 14-6. Late in the fourth, Patriots down 8 on 4th and goal. Brady to Rob Gronkowski to keep the game alive. 20-18. Patriots needing to go for the 2-point conversion to send it to overtime. Brady's pass is going to be picked off by Bradley Roby. Broncos hang on to win 20-18 to advance to the Super Bowl. Cam Newton and the Panthers have been the best team in football, and they looked the part tonight in the NFC Championship against Arizona. Third quarter, Newton keeps it and Supermans it across the goal line for the touchdown. Newton's second rushing touchdown of the game. Panthers up 34-7. Carson Palmer of the Cardinals had trouble hanging on to the football. Fourth quarter, Palmer picked off by Luke Kuechly, and he returns it for the touchdown. Palmer had 5 turnovers. Panthers win 49-15. They advance to their second Super Bowl in team history. Super Bowl, Kristen, 2 weeks away right here on WKYT.
I don't even remember the last time the Panthers were in it.
Yeah, they've only ever been in it one time ever. So, but I mean, you've got new school and the Panthers against the old wily veteran and Peyton Manning and the Broncos. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
It's going to be a good game. We'll be right back with a final look at weather.
I don't want to live with the uncertainties of Hep C.
Or wonder whether I should seek treatment. I am ready.
Because today, there's Harvoni, a revolutionary treatment for the most common type of chronic hepatitis C. Harvoni is proven to cure up to 99% of patients who've had no prior treatment. It's the one and only cure that's 1 pill once a day for 12 weeks. Certain patients can be cured with just 8 weeks of Harvoni. With Harvoni, there's no interferon, and there are no complex regimens. Tell your doctor if you have other liver or kidney problems, HIV, or other medical conditions, and about all the medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Taking amiodarone with Harvoni may cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Common side effects of Harvoni may include tiredness, headache, and weakness.
I am ready to put Hep C behind me.
I am ready to be cured.
Are you ready? Ask your Hep C specialist if Harvoni is right for you.
Looking for convenient small-town family service? Come see us at Central Kentucky Truck, Trailer, Boat, and RV. We are family-owned and operated and are conveniently located just off I-75 between Lexington and Richmond. We have a large selection of RVs and pontoons on location. We've been serving our Central Kentucky neighbors for 12 years, and we would like to serve you next. Stop in today and let our family serve your family. Central Kentucky Truck, Trailer, Boat, and RV, the Recreation Superstore.
Insurance companies demand prompt and full payment of your premiums. Shouldn't you receive prompt and full payment of your claims? When you don't, you know who to call. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Ciao, I'm Sam Dick, inviting WKYT TV viewers to join me on a tour to classic Italy, October 8th to the 16th. Our vacation includes 2 nights near Venice, 2 nights in Florence, and 3 nights in the Eternal City of Rome. We'll also visit Vatican City and travel through the charming Tuscan countryside. Our tour includes all airfare, great hotels, many delicious meals, and more. For your free brochure, call Holiday Vacations at 1-800-826-2266.
I've been tasked with assembling an elite team to travel through time.
What you see here, this is history. They're here.
Do we want to live out the rest of our lives as insignificant losers or
save the world?
BC's Legends of Tomorrow. New hit series Thursday at 8, 7 Central on the CW.
Those main roads were looking great in Lexington, but I know there's still a delay tomorrow.
Yeah, I still have the delay because, you still have some neighborhood roads that had a little melting today, a little refreezing overnight, so that's going to be an issue tomorrow morning. But after the sun comes out, well, kids, you're going to have to go. Here's what we've got 7-day-wise. Temperatures jump to above freezing tomorrow. Likely to do it again on Tuesday as some showers arrive. But at the tail end of it, guys, looks like we'll track some flakes as we go into early on Wednesday morning. The much warmer air coming our way.
Kristen made me shovel the driveway, so our driveway looks really good. We get in.
I'll have you know, I went back out there and you're done, and I reshoveled.
Oh, is that right?
I
Wow.
did.
That's
I
why it
had to
looks
get
so
a little
good.
bit more.
Now we know she can do that.
Thanks for joining us right here on WKYT. Good night.